My name is Chris-Beth Cowie, and I am super excited to be here with you this morning. As the founder of Empowered Facts and the host of BizGrams, I have the privilege of introducing you to amazing entrepreneurs who are doing wonderful things in their community. And today we're talking about food, and I'm super excited to have Anita here with us today. I think, did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Anita?
Yeah.
Yes, Anita from nikitafoodscanada, and basically with her business importing and selling and distributing premium African food to Canadians here. So thank you so much for being here with us this morning, Anita. How are you doing?
Thank you, Chris, and thanks for having me on the show. It's a privilege, really.
Hey, thank you so much. So Anita, tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. How did you get started?
So I've been in the food business for a while, not seriously. I dabbled in it a while back, maybe around 2009-ish. I was catering. And so when I came to Canada and started working, I have a finance background in finance. I always knew I wanted to just go off and do a business for myself. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to tap into what I love best. I love food. It's a passion for me. So food business sounded like a really good match. So last year, I decided I would complete my MBA program to equip me fully because I just felt like I needed that core business background. How do you start a company and build it and leave a legacy for your children and for your community? So that's it in summary, and it's been quite a ride.
Hey, that is awesome. And congratulations to completing your MBA as well. I know that is an amazing feat. And it's so true what you said. Many people, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier, having that business idea, but not really knowing where to start and what's required in terms of this building this entity to leave that legacy. And I think that it is so important as an entrepreneur starting out in a journey. Maybe not everyone is able to get access to doing their MBA right away, but at the same time, plugging into an entrepreneurial communities, similar to what we do here at Empowered Facts and other places to get that business acumen. So one thing I know about MBAs, it's sometimes very theoretical, it's all the theory. How does that now translate into the real world for you running your business? And what are some of the things you've been able to exercise or practice in your own current business?
That's a great question. Because a lot of people consider MBAs, but don't really go into it for that particular reason. But I chose a university that is 100% focused on the entrepreneurial pursuit. That's what they pride themselves on. It's Babson College. That's what they're known for in the States. So I chose that college for that particular reason. One of the things I learned is when you're starting a business, you have to have a value proposition, because right now businesses are all consumer centric. It's focused on the consumer, what they want. And so you have to provide a value that other people sort of, are not, they haven't quite completely provided that value for the customer. And so the customer will probably choose you over your competitors. That's what gives you the edge. So that's one thing that was drummed into us throughout that program. We saw how another thing that it gave me was the ability to see that all these names, these big companies that we hear about, they were usually started by people just like us, regular, everyday people. They had an idea, they believed in the idea, and they just kept going. They were problem solvers. So that's one thing I've taken away. So now when I hit a problem, I take a deep breath. I can feel bad about it for a day or two, but then I just go, okay, other people did it, and so I can do it. I know these stories. And beyond that, for the numbers, it gave me the ability to trust my intuition, because a business is really about making profit. If you're not making revenue, profit comes sometimes later. But if you're not really making money, there's no point. You need to wind it. It can be a passion project, But if you're calling it a business, you've got to be making money. And so at some point, you have to rationalize, you have to really dig deep and think about the business. So it allowed me to be able to process the numbers and then see, is this a business or is it a passion project?
Hey, I cannot agree with you anymore. I think it's something that I've been talking to our community here about. It's really evaluating and being able to take a step back and be objective about the process that you're going through, right? Having that idea is one good thing. You know, some people come to me and, is my idea good? I'm like, sure, I cannot tell you, but are the people, the customers that you're building for, are they saying it's a good idea? Are they willing to transact that value to get what you're offering? And so thank you so much for sharing that. And just tell us a little bit more about Nikita Foods and what you guys do.
Yeah, so the idea really came about. I've been a Nigerian living in diaspora for a number of years. And, you know, just walking around, sometimes you just want to eat food that you're used to, that you grew up with. But then I would have to travel. In every city that I've lived, you have to travel 20, 30 minutes. You can't walk into like a Walmart or a Sobeys and buy, you know, food off the shelf. And I always used to wonder, why is it? Sometimes the food would not be fresh. It would be, you know, kind of partially spoiled, but you still have to buy it because you have that craving. And so I noticed that in the African-Caribbean community, this is prevalent no matter the country you live in, Italy, France, London, it's the same story. And so at the back of my mind, I always felt planes fly in to these countries every single day, or well, at least 5 days in the week. Why can't we get fresh foods from our country just the same way we get strawberries all year round, even though we know strawberries don't grow all year round? And so that was the idea. So once I joined my passion, which is, food, and the business side of me, I came about with products. I did a random survey. I went to stores and asked them, okay, what don't you have? And they told me the things that they don't have. Palm oil is one of our products. It was actually my mom's idea. And she said, we where I come from, we have really good palm oil. Nigeria was known at some point for her palm oil. It was a mainstay for the economy at some point. So we decided it would be one of our products. And the other products came from the survey that I did. I just went to the stores and asked them what they needed, back to the value proposition. So those are the products that we sell. They're premium products. They're not products that you kind of want every day, but that's fine because I like catering to niches, not necessarily things that everybody wants. It's just something that I like to do. And so we chose those niche products, the premium products. Some of them are quite expensive, and began to look for outlets for them. Yeah.
I love it. So talk to us a little bit about the path you went on to select your niche. And I love this because many entrepreneurs go wide before they go deep, right? And it's like, my store has everything. And they're like, okay, where do I start? And I'm like, what is your top product? Who wants it? Because what I always encourage folks is, designing a specific landing page. So when someone search best palm oil, Nigerian palm oil, your page now comes up and it's in front of people to say, listen, we got something for you. So talk to us a little bit about your journey in terms of choosing a niche or niche products to bring to market to start with.
Okay, so first of all, I love what you just said about the landing page, and we should probably have a chat afterwards so that I can engage that. Yeah, once those keywords are typed in, we jump up. I love that. Like I explained, Nigeria is really good with producing palm oil. So it was one thing that I felt that it should continue. Right now, its dependence on oil is not so great because we all know the price of oil hasn't been very high of late. So really, there's a revolution going on in the sense that people are exporting more than they ever have. So I decided to provide that outlet for the manufacturers who are doing a really great job, and they're doing it sustainably because their families depend on this income. So I know that there is this issue about palm oil and sustainability, but when your family, generations of your family have been growing a particular crop, you want that crop to survive. And so you treat the earth with respect to make sure that it keeps producing for you generation after generation. So that was why. So really, my role was to package it properly so that it will be acceptable according to Canadian standards and any standards really. We had my vision was also to put it on Amazon for some just really curious reason. I wanted, and it's back to accessibility. I wanted people to go on Amazon. I was like, why can't I just buy my food on Amazon? I spend so much on Amazon, but I'm spending it on products that I don't particularly identify with. So I said, I'm going to list this on Amazon. And it was just one statement, but you will not believe how much trouble it took to get that listed. It was like so many requirements, but we did that, and I'm happy that we were able to do that. Now there are definitely more and more brands coming on, so I'm quite pleased with that, coming onto Amazon and listing their products, different herbs and spices.